that you in love with the stuff in your in them. Hate me, they hate me. What should I do? Keep getting money. It's funny, I was just like you. Super Bowl Sunday. With the facts. Security guard told Kevin Hart to relax. Oh! Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. Like when it drop home, game in the chokehold. Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. Like when it drop home, game in the chokehold. I reinvented myself.
From a city that's played host to 10 Super Bowls, here's a look inside the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in New Orleans. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Philadelphia Eagles and the New Orleans Saints. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. On 1st and 10, Mayfield. Oh, a scrap to the football, and he's going to come down with it. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
Mayfield down. And incomplete to open things up.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. And I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long.
Set. Green 39. Green 39.
Mayfield off the play fake. He'll rifle this one deep right. And got his man complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And give him a gain of 37. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback and his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike.
They go play action. Mayfield. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Fletcher Cox coming up the middle, gets him there for a loss of about 9. Third and long for Mayfield. And that is incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line. Now a play fake here on 1st down. He'll buy some time right. And his first pass is incomplete. He was looking for Watkins that time, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
Back to the air on second down. Wentz. Pass incomplete. Good coverage that time by Patrick Robinson.
Now that's a great play defensively, and one thing we do know, both of the corners are going to face a lot of action in this game, the way that offense likes to fling it around.
The safeties, they better be ready to be engaged as well. Now Wentz on third down. Escaping the pressure right. Looking right side, and that's complete to Watkins. And they'll get him down right around the 11-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a fourth down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying.
And from their own end zone, it's a fake. And he will not even make it back to the line of scrimmage. A little trickeration there, but it doesn't fool him.
Anytime a fake doesn't work, we usually focus our attention on the guys that were unsuccessful. But how about the defensive guys? They have to plan all week. They have to prepare all week. Special teams, it looked like they were educated for that one.
Educated on their toes and getting a big stop. Try to pound it in, Kamara. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know you. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Malcolm Jenkins. And nothing there on the return. They've got the football, but they'll have to start this drive at their own 4-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away. That means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
Now Wentz throwing on second down. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. And all the way to the 25 before he's hit and dropped. A good pickup there, a 22. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
On second down, here's Wentz. They set up the screen to Ajayi. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool him, right? Tried to trick him. Ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
Jeffrey with a catch left side. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. The first catch for Jeffrey. Good enough for a first down.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 11 more on that one and another first down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Wentz. Looking for Jeffrey, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
Set. 3-19. 3-19.
They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And he'll get this one across the 20, but only up to about the 21. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Over the middle, that's caught by Meredith. And now off to the races down the right side. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Saints football to begin quarter number 2. After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Here's Mayfield. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Malcolm Jenkins. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Thomas, the intended target.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
So after the INT, here's Wentz. He's going to look deep for Watkins. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away. But it does get away and it's 2nd down. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Now a toss play. It's Ajayi. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. From the gun on 3rd down, Wentz. And this is caught by Watkins. And he is out of bounds right around the 34. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. Wentz now 6 of 10 in this first half. He's got his guys a first down here. From the gun, it's Wentz. And complete to Zach Ertz. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. Over the middle, he's got Watkins. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. Back-to-back gains of 17, and they are really on the march now. It's a first down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Wentz now on 1st down. Drops it off to Ajayi. No gain, and it's 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Wentz to throw again. And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down.
Enough takes a start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. He'll hit Watkins on the crossing route. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. We knew he was close to the line of scrimmage, and they say he stepped over.
When you see him in that position, you think he's become a runner. As a DB, you start to react towards the line of scrimmage, they can often throw it over your head.
And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. It's just a 30-yard punt that time, no return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say the great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite of that level and not of that age. But I was
going for the age.
I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? It's because he had enough confidence in himself that that was a fluke. And he went out and played pretty well the rest of the day.
Drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Looking left side and completing it to Thomas. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. To throw, Mayfield. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Fletcher Cox. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. He gets it to Thomas. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. 1 minute, 53 ticks left to go in this first half. We're back to New Orleans after this. They go play action here on 1st down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the offense does cover this one, but back inside their own 5-yard line.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Yeah, the Saints signal for another timeout as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Shotgun now for Wentz. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Now here's a whistle and a timeout. It's called by the receiving team here as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So a short drop, but he's able to get it out, and this is a good kick. Take it at the 37. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. And now the Saints get set to trot out there. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. Play action now. Here's Mayfield. Flush to his right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Fletcher Cox in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. The Saints on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and a mile. Mayfield down. Flush, nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And they will set up shop with outstanding field position in the red zone at the 17-yard line. He let one slip away last week as well, so now 2 fumbles lost in as many weeks.
Well, we were out at practice, and we watched him work. And what did his quarterback coach talk about all week?
Being a 2-hand monster.
And we looked at each other. 2-hand. Oh, I get it. 2-hand monster. Both hands on the football, taking care of it, putting it away so the ball doesn't get dropped.
Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to Zach Ertz that time, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back. In pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
To throw is Wentz. They dump off underneath to Ajayi. Call it a pickup of 7. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. The Eagles on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Working from the gun. Wentz. That's complete right around the 8. And he gets the first down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. The gain of 5 that time gives him the conversion and makes it 1st and goal. Again, they'll throw with Wentz. Oh, he can't hang on. That was a dream chance for any D lineman to possibly get a pick, but instead it falls down incomplete. They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now. Stepping up, he's good, and he will take this one in for an Eagle touchdown. Carson Wentz in the final seconds of the first half. And the Eagles are able to cash it in for 6. Elliott good with a PAT. And that makes the score 7-0. Elliott now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Saints offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. Well, why don't we hold off on the halftime update after all? Seems like everyone's ready to go here for the second half in Week 8 in the NFL. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Now Wentz. And that's off the mark incomplete. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And that negates a pretty decent punt return.
And the goal is to gain a first down on a punt return, which is 10 yards. This was much more than that, but it is going to come back due to the illegal block in the back.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. First down, Mayfield. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Play fake. Mayfield. He's going to fire one deep. Middle of... Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. An excellent pickup of 34 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described.
It's caught at the 10. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Saints are within an extra point of tying this thing up. Lutz with the extra point, and we are tied at 7. Nothing separating these two teams on the scoreboard as the kick's away here. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive, almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
And his throw is incomplete. Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
Yeah, really turned it loose, didn't he? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
They fake the give. Now Wentz. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. And he is going to bring this back inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. Not that time for Watkins. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game. Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
A field goal would get him the lead, but that's not what they're shooting for as they come up on 3rd down.
All right, here we go.
On 3rd and 1, here's Mayfield. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
You got to give some credit. They're able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and give him some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
And Lutz puts this one through. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you've got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
The Eagles coming out as they get ready. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll begin the drive with a jive. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. On 2nd down, here's Wentz. Eluding the pressure right. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. It's a 4-yard pickup, and just like that, it's 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. And this is going to be incomplete.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. This is taken at the 18. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete. The target that time, Michael Thomas. That'll bring up 2nd down.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
On 2nd down, Kamara. And a short gain across the 15 to the 17-yard line. Tackled that time by Sidney Jones. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
I know that interception was dropped, and it would have been their 3rd of the game, and I will guarantee you, in the huddle, on the bench, all the defensive guys have been talking about is, we've got this guy right where we want him. Who's going to get the next one? It almost becomes a challenge, and they've missed a golden opportunity.
We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. The Eagles offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Now it's a jive. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
They force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
The Eagles on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 7. Now a play fake. Wentz. And this is caught by Watkins. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. They give him 27 yards on the 3rd down conversion. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Lefty. Tyson.
Here's a jive. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down. The Eagles on third down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll run it now out of the gun. Well, he's taken down, but not before picking up the first thanks to a flashy little spin move. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
That's how you pick up a first down. You know where the sticks are. You know where the first down marker is, and you find a way to get there. That's called having vision.
He had a lot of vision last week, didn't he? NFC Offensive Player of the Week. He was dominant. Tackle is made by Cameron Jordan.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. From the gun, it's Wentz. And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this third quarter. A rough couple of weeks for the man under center. 5 sacks last week, 4 now this week. Do you try to design some quicker developing plays if you're an offensive coordinator?
I think you do that. I think you also change his launch point at times. In other words, move your pocket to the right, to the left, roll him out, bootleg him. Do some different things so they can't just rely on the fact that he's going to take 3 to 5 steps back in the pocket and line up and throw the football.
Yeah, current formula is not working right now. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a 4th down.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
And the kick by Elliott is good. And in the 4th quarter, this game is tied. I tell you, the life of a kicker. He has not been called on the entire game. He's over there by the net, but they send him out here in the 4th quarter and say, hey, go tie the game, will you? And guess what? He comes through.
I just don't know how they do it. I really don't. These cats are a different breed from you and me. That's a pressure kick, but that one was never in doubt.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
And a nice gain of 21 yards. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. From the gun, Mayfield. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? Throwing, Mayfield. On the check down, he finds Kamara. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 12 more yards there and another first down. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. A 10th carry for Kamara. Dances by him. And they'll get this down to the 10. It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up 1st and goal.
Some big plays in the passing game on this drive, and here's one out of the running game. So the passing game loosening things up. Now there's room to roam.
Mayfield off the play fake. They'll roll him out right. And he's got it. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. In for the score. And the Saints have moved out in front. Such an art to dot the I, just get the feet in right there against the line before going out of bounds.
Such an incredibly graceful, athletic play, but also a lot of practice goes into it. They work on that to make sure that they learn how to train their feet to get down in bounds.
Lutz good on the extra point, and that makes it a 17-10 score. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Eagles offense back out onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of.
And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Tyler Davison forcing his way through there to drop him for a loss of a good 10 yards. So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. Play action. Now Wentz. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. Throwing is Wentz. Escaping the pressure right. Now he'll let it. He's got a man. Complete. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. That goes for a gain of 31.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A really nice gain of 25 yards. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection. He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
On play action, Wentz rolling to his right. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. Wentz can pull it down when he needs to, and the 6'5" quarterback picks up the first down. Late in the game, defense trying to avoid a big play. He's able to work out of the passing game, turn it into a run, pick up the first. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off at the 13. Oh, able to avoid him. How about the big boys snagging one? You don't see that every week.
No, you don't, but a lot of them are just reliving their old dreams, going back to when they were in youth football and in high school. They didn't always play defensive line. Some of them actually handled the football, and you can see the flashback when he grabbed that one.
They'll run. This is Kamara, and he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46. Well, I think you'd have to say defensively, these guys are doing their job pretty well, right?
Yeah, we talked about them holding them under 20 points, right, on defense. And they've done that. They've held them. The problem is their own offense hasn't answered their challenge, which was to score more.
Yeah, exactly. I remember you saying magic number was right around 20, and the offense has been the issue. You're right. Second down, Mayfield. Drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Watch it now, Barney!
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. seems pretty obvious defensively. A key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
Now that screen there on second down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying is one thing. We can second guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize that it's broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try to pick up the first down on third down. That way you don't lose any yardage.
So they took a shot there on third down, couldn't get it. Now it's fourth. Well, interceptions have been a problem in this one. If he could have got his feet down here, it would have been another.
Would have been a huge one. They've had a great game taking the ball away. Thought they had another one, just unable to get those cleats in bounds.
So on fourth down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a two-score game. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice, an ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
Back to throw. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. So the defense helping him out a little bit here late in the fourth.
Yeah, and you're exactly right. And when you're the one doing the chasing, you'll take a little help from the other guys, won't you?
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. He'll look to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off at the 14. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8.
Set! 319! 319!
They run it again with Kamara. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 12-yard line. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as he'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. The Saints on third down. They've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 11. Toss play. Kamara. And they're able to bring him down at the 20. He gets a good chunk of yards there, 8 all told, but they're still looking at a 4th down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for New Orleans, they'll finish the first half of the schedule dead even at 4-4. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for the Eagles, they fall a game under the 500 mark at 3-4 through 7 games. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to L.A. to take on the Rams. Thanks for tuning in, everybody, alongside Charles.
Streets on my back, carry it like I'm moving the. I told him the hunter, like he trying to move it up. It was like 11 in the morning, skip to school, that's a truancy about it. I made me some rest in the morning, I had me up by the morning, I had me some breaks by the morning, I had a six by the morning, I got on a meat on the morning, the rats keep me up on the podium, I had a in my shoulder, you got a picture, you got this picture me. Pacific ice, I'm an ocean. Ready for war like I'm Russian. Ladies should never the luggage. My diamonds, they tussling. My neck and my belly. They call it for me and they. You want me like me and I look. Yeah. Her Rex on her. Yeah. B-Rex better calm down. Yeah. If you go around, come around. Yeah. Whole squad. Yeah. Squad goes on the. Yeah. Make some orange gel on my toes. Yeah. Farrakhan glass for the chosen. Yeah. You can go and get mad. Jumping in the bed with 2 dark teeth, man, who's you? My shawty pulling up with a real bad, you too. Dripping my swag, about tag on, I got it in the bag, man, I'm getting all type of cash, I'm a general true. I never get anybody, but I got something to do with that. I got the streets on my back, carry it like I'm moving the. I told him the hunter, like he trying to move it up. It was like 11 in the morning, skip to school, that's a truancy about it. I made me some rest in the morning, I had me up by the morning, I had me some breaks by the morning, I had a six by the morning, I got on a meat on the morning, the rats keep me up on the podium, I had a in my shoulder, you got a picture.
You got a picture me, send me calling, ready for war like Korea, headlining shows out in Poland, you should be cleaning my mansion. My peasants disgusting. Why don't you act like a Hoffman and go get to dustin'? Yeah, latex on my. Go clean my crown. Can't hear my haters from way up here. They don't make a sound. Money goes on these white paint on my toes. When I send a new bay alert, don't be mad. Jumping in the bed, then I switch to the ghost like who's you? Remember this face, cause I'm that you gon' lose too. Dripping in ice, you looking at you. It's squad goals win. Are you pretty like no?
I never get anybody, but I got something to do with that. I got the streets on my back, carry it like I'm moving the. I told him the hunter, like he trying to move it up. It was like 11 in the morning, skip to school, that's a truancy about it. I made me some rest in the morning, I had me up by the morning, I had me some breaks by the morning, I had a six by the morning, I got on a meat on the morning, the rats keep me up on the podium, I had a in my shoulder, you got a picture. Jumping in the bed with 2 dark teeth, man, who's you? My shawty